I wanted to make a video in response to what has been happening around the shooting in Arizona recently. The shooting itself, what can I say about that? It's a tragedy. It's terrible that something like that had to happen yet again. But what I want to talk about is the sort of responses I have seen to what has happened. Especially in the light of how people have once again polarized themselves, put themselves in different camps and started pointing the finger at people in other camps, and of course then, identifying the, for want of a better word, scumbags in other camps with just the general public in those camps. A couple of examples of this are, of course, the gunman himself is accused of being an atheist. I don't know whether this is true or not. It's completely irrelevant in any case. I'm quite happy for the remainder of this video to proceed on the basis that he is an atheist. So what if he isn't? It doesn't matter. Let's assume that he is an atheist for the sake of the argument that I'm going to present. And then you have people like Fred Phelps, who are supposedly Christians and who have decided to have another publicity stunt dancing on the grave, essentially, of a 9-year-old girl who got caught up in this whole thing and got killed as a result. These people are the dregs of humanity. But I don't think there's any point in pointing out that that person was an atheist and this person is a Christian, and look at what scumbags they are. As if that has got anything to do with whether they are Christians or atheists. I want to just remind you of one thing, that regardless of what these people were, first and foremost, they were as human as you and I, and they are still capable of such depravities. It is something, a capacity that exists in all of us. And it is not down to somebody being this, that or the other. It is not down to somebody being an atheist or Christian that makes something like this possible. It is part of a human nature that sometimes we can cross that line and we can do things that are really unspeakable to each other. And I think it is also important that people who do consider themselves to be in some camp or other, call yourself atheist or Christian or what, should under no circumstances feel obliged to identify themselves in any way with people who do cross those lines. They shouldn't feel responsible for them, they shouldn't identify them, nor should they take any responsibility for what those people did and respond to what those people did in the name of this group that they are supposed to belong to. There's absolutely no reason why any atheist, even if this gunman was an atheist, should respond to what he did and identify with it in any way. I feel in no way whatsoever responsible for what this man did. It's similar to something that happened to me a couple of years ago, where I got subscribed to by somebody. They eventually disappeared, then came back, turned out to be the same person again, subscribed to me with a new account after their first account got suspended, and then it turns out that they went to the school and shot a few people, killed them. There was something about that person. They somehow felt an affinity to something I was doing on my channel. To this day I have no idea what that was, nor do I care, because I feel no kinship whatsoever with somebody who did something like that. Even if they were a fellow atheist, it doesn't matter. Nor do I nor do I see any reason why a Christian should respond in any way to what Fred Phelps was doing, or take any sort of responsibility for what Fred Phelps is doing. Because Fred Phelps is a sick man who is out to achieve nothing other than some cheap publicity over the suffering of other people. And that he is supposedly a Christian is irrelevant. This is the same argument that I use to reject any suggestion that moderate Muslims should take responsibility for what the scumbags did in 9/11 and other occasions. They shouldn't. They are not those people. The only link between them and those people is a silly little label. And if the result of accepting a certain label for yourself is that some people try to brush you on the same heap as those scumbags, then I would for one decide to reject the label altogether. But I will not accept equivocation between somebody like me and somebody who goes out murdering people. I don't see any reason why an atheist should accept that. I don't see any reason why a Muslim should accept that. And I don't see any reason why a Christian should accept that. And that's the thought I want to leave you with.